This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shoshina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the government embarking on a major redevelopment initiative for the island of Grand Bahama, as the nation's leader is going on the record to foreshadow that communities from East End to West End will become vital hubs for economic expansion. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
The government preparing to roll out a series of capital infrastructural projects here on Grand Bahama. The launch began with the Fishing Hole Road, and now the contract signing for the $4.8 million seawall in Smiths Point. This is the nation's chief, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, says to Grand Bahama, "You ain't seen nothing yet," as the nation's second city is now poised for a new era of development.
We are in the final stages of the legislation for Freeport, where we will grant another 20 years in consideration of what they have agreed to do. And the government will become a direct participant in the administration of Freeport, in the sense that we will be there to share in and give confidence to outside investors that they're not just entering into an investment with a private company, but they're entering into an investment with the government of the Bahamas, who is a part of the entire process. That's, I believe, is going to give tremendous confidence to investment on the island of Grand Bahama, and most certainly in Freeport.
Then there's another mega expansion in the making, this time in the industrial sector.
The container port is supposed to be expanded. We're looking at the third part of the ending of this year. By then we have groundbreaking. They're waiting, I think, on the legislation to pass Parliament. That should be shortly. And we want to do it before we break for the summer. And so we're waiting on Hutchison Whampoa to announce the date for the expansion and Mediterranean shipping.
The Prime Minister also disclosed that among the best is also getting set to take shape in the West.
In the West, right, we are remediating strongly. We're about to do groundbreaking for a new school and new sporting facilities out there in the West. The contracts are being offered and issued now. We expect therefore construction to start early on that matter, more jobs to be created. We're finishing the planning for a public-private partnership for a new administrative complex in 8 Mile Rock. That will be a major employer. The plans are finished in the Friendship Shopping Center area.
Still in West Grand Bahama, the nation's leader was also asked about the future of the GIN project.
We are meeting now with people who are interested in the GIN development, and so that's continuing, and we believe as the environment and the United States of America improves, we believe more and more people will be looking at the potential of West End, and they're looking at Bimini, and they've seen the Genting Group spend $650 million, I think, but a lot of money developing a 300-room hotel, support facilities, a casino, lengthening the runway, building a new port. And that is what West End needs. And so the model exists, and I believe investors in the world are looking at West End. So I feel very, very optimistic about the future for Freeport, the future for East Grand Bahama and West Grand Bahama.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, the opposition Free National Movement appears to be a party divided as it heads into an early convention next month. The move prompted by efforts to have party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis replaced. Tonight, a senior party official weighs in on the ongoing controversy and the way ahead for that party. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
Chairman of the Free National Movement Grand Bahama Council David Thompson says the leaked email blasting party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis for his early departure from the budget debate wrap-up last week was unnecessary because Minnis's departure had no impact. Central Grand Bahama MP Nico Grant accused Minnis of being unprepared and not interested and called it a missed opportunity to highlight the government's shortcomings. Thompson says there should not be any leaks in political organizations, as some issues are not for public consumption.
I do not fault Nico Grant for his opinion or his view. I just fault the media and the public for giving so much press to what to me is something that is not too relevant to good governance.
He admits there is division in the party after 6 MPs, including former Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner and St. Anne's MP Hubert Chipman, threatened to petition Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling to have Minnis removed as opposition leader in Parliament if an early convention were not called.
The threat to go to the Governor General by members of the FNM was ill-conceived, could not work, and the only way that could happen would have been if they had left the FNM party and formed their own party.
Senator Dwayne Sands announced last week that he and Butler Turner are teaming up. He will vie for deputy leader and Butler Turner for leader after both were defeated at the 2014 convention. Despite internal turmoil, Thompson says the FNM must emerge from the convention as one.
We all need to be united. And for all of us to come together and discuss and dialogue and work out whatever differences we have in order to fix our party, because we have to fix our party if we are to fix the country.
As for going talks that the former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Hubert Ingram, is planning a return to frontline politics, Thompson says he takes him at his word. As for if he would support Ingram's return, Thompson says he would appreciate that the former Prime Minister has a right to do that and that he has the right to vote against him and support Minnis. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, excessive speed remains a major factor in traffic deaths and injuries on the streets of Grand Bahama. Aware of this concern, 2 entities have teamed up to cut down the carnage on the streets. Italia Hall has the details.
It's a device seen in countries all over the world, and it's now here on Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Port Authority recently installed a brand new speed monitor adjacent to the Boulevard gas station on East Sunrise Highway. The speed monitor will flash slow down to alert drivers when they are going above the speed limit. Officer in charge of traffic Kenwood Taylor says he believes that the monitor can serve as a deterrent to traffic accidents.
Driving without due care and attention is still the main cause of traffic accidents in the Bahamas today. So far, for the 6-month period, we've had some 600 traffic accidents, and we have seen a reduction in it. We've also had a fatality on this road. We've had 2 fatalities for the year compared to last year, where we had 7 fatalities. So we feel that the speed meter would reduce traffic accidents and fatalities significantly.
The traffic officer says 5 additional monitors will be installed.
There will be 1 installed at the Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Church. The 3rd will be installed in the area of Municipal Service Station. The 4th will be installed in the area of Sergeant Major Road, and the 5th will be installed in the area of Churchill.
The traffic chief is encouraging all road users to wear their seatbelts, pay attention to pedestrians, and to put their cell phones away while driving.
If you need to make a phone call, pull to the side of the road. If you need to apply makeup, have something to eat, your complete focus needs to be on the road and the other drivers that are driving alongside of you.
He thanked the Grand Bahama Port Authority for the donation.
On behalf of our Commissioner of Police, Mr. Elliston Greenslade, our Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police, who's in charge of Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas, we'd like to thank the Port Authority, and I'd also like to commend and thank Mr. Troy McIntosh, who's been the liaison and has been able to assist us in strategically placing them in areas where we are most challenged.
Now Taylor says police will continue to monitor these areas, adding that speeding fines are $100. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Preliminary investigations into the fatal Father's Day plane crash in Bimini has revealed that the pilot did not have a license after it was revoked in 2001, and the plane involved was not airworthy, according to reports. The radio in the plane was also not functional. 47-year-old Terrence Tango Gibson and mechanic Anthony Scrubby Smith were both killed. According to reports, the plane had been en route to Marsh Harbor, Abaco to do a charter, but it encountered engine problems. The pilot attempted a go-around procedure, and because another plane was on the runway, it attempted a missed approach and crashed into bushes. According to reports, the crash was not due to engine failure, but because the pilot lost control of the plane. Civil Aviation is expected to release a full report at the end of the week. In other news, two hauled before the court today on the charge of murder. 21-year-old Tremaine Moss of Wood Rogers Drive and the 17-year-old juvenile of Gordon Avenue, who could be seen wearing an electronic monitoring device on his leg, were charged with the armed robbery and murder of Corey Thompson. Thompson was shot and killed at his Cocoa Plum Street home in Pioneers Loop 1 week ago. In court, Moss and the juvenile were not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to September 1st, and bail was denied. The juvenile was also charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct in a police station. That matter was adjourned to August 9th to be held before a juvenile panel. Meantime, Moss was also arraigned before Magistrate Rangan Johnson today for possession of a firearm with the means to endanger life. Moss pleaded not guilty and elected the magistrate court for trial. The matter was adjourned to October 24th. Moss was also arraigned on the charge of armed robbery. The matter is an indictable offense. He was not allowed to plea, and that case was adjourned to November 22nd. Moss was then remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Facilities. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.